morning. I invite you all to bow your heads for a moment of prayer. We are grateful, O God, for the signs of spring and new life that surround us this day, and for time set aside to share these moments with colleagues and with friends. We gather on this founding day and offer thanks for those who had vision and resources to create a place to learn and to grow in these beautiful hills. And we are thankful and we honor the countless men and women who labored to make those plans a reality. We are grateful for all those who, because of this place, have inspired us to greater acts of kindness, giving, and compassion. And we are certainly thankful for those who will be honored today for their service to this college and beyond. We pray that the gifts of music shared and stories told will inspire and renew us on this very special day. Amen. And you may be seated.
Thank you, Reverend Sharon Wright, our chaplain and co-pastor here at Emory United Methodist Church. Welcome to Founding Day at Emory and Henry College. It is good to be in person for this annual event and nice to have our academic procession back for the first time since the 2019 Convocation. Today we celebrate the founding of the college and those whose efforts were instrumental in establishing Southwest Virginia's first and oldest institution of higher education. In 1836, the college was founded with the encouragement of the Holston Conference of the Methodist Church and through the generosity of a Methodist clergyman, 2 Methodist laymen, and a Presbyterian philanthropist. The college was named for John Emory, an eminent 19th century Methodist bishop and the same person for whom Emory University in Atlanta is named. It was also named for Patrick Henry, patriot of the American Revolution and first post-colonial governor of Virginia, whose sister, Elizabeth Henry Campbell Russell, lived in nearby Saltville, Virginia, and was a prominent Methodist lay leader. By the time Emory and Henry's charter was officially granted on March 25, 1839, the administration building had been constructed, classes had commenced, and the early chapters of the history of the college were being written. The formal observance of Founding Day is a day in which we pause and reflect on the history, the mission, and core values of this special place. It is also a day in which we recognize and are inspired by the outstanding accomplishments of others. The college uses this ceremony as an opportunity to present service citations to individuals or organizations making significant contributions to our region. A number of our past service citation winners who are noted in the program are here with us this morning. Thank you for your continued good work and what you do on behalf of our community and for our region. The College Alumni Association will also present awards to a number of graduates and a member of the faculty in recognition of their service to others. I'm pleased to introduce the chair of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Ann Sluter, if she would stand. Thank you, Dr. Sluter, for your service. And our delegate, Israel O'Quinn, who is also a member of our board. These are exciting times at Emory and Henry. This will be our last Founding Day celebration as a college. As you are probably aware, we are transitioning to university status over the summer and will become Emory and Henry University. This is a reflection of what we actually already are, which is an institution that awards doctoral degrees. We're more than an undergraduate institution, although the heart and soul of Emory and Henry will remain the same. We're growing and we're building the new Food City Sports Complex at Exit 26. We've remodeled and opened a new School of Business in Carragher Hall in the Central Campus. We've opened more new housing for upper-class students, and we are finishing our third year of provisional NCAA Division II status. We continue to be recognized as a transformative institution because of what our faculty does every day in helping to shape the worldview and the minds of our students. The economic impact of this institution on Washington and Smith counties, Abingdon, Marion, Bristol, and beyond is significant and essential. Our alumni are doing great things, from the halls of Congress to state houses in Richmond and in Sacramento, courthouses, hospitals, research centers, schools, churches, businesses, museums, theaters, not-for-profits, and for-profit industry. We've been building communities and helping students succeed for nearly 188 years, and by no means are we even close to being finished yet. It is my pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker, Stephen Callahan. I've gotten to know Stephen well as an influential leader of our college board of trustees. He and his wife, Jessica, are a modern-day power couple, and we look forward to hearing from Stephen in a few moments. But first, we will hear an anthem from our concert choir under the direction of Natalie Schaefer. We also appreciate Dr. Matt Frederick and our brass quintet, along with our college organist, Brian Underwood, for our music today. Now let the celebration continue. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. It is my pleasure to welcome one of our own as today's keynote speaker. Many of you already know about Stephen Callahan and his wife Jessica, who are both 2011 graduates of Emory and Henry. They took Stephen's passion for distilling spirits and together opened Tennessee Hills Distillery in 2016 in Jonesboro, Tennessee. It's been rumored that Stephen may have honed some of his distilling skills in a certain residence hall here on campus, which may or may not have helped pay for his Emory and Henry tuition. I can't confirm that, nor will I ask any questions because the statute of limitations has expired. I can only say that based on that entrepreneurial spirit and drive, it's appropriate that we converted Carragher Hall into the home of our new School of Business. In a nod to their alma mater, their top shelf bourbon is named S.E. Callahan's number 51 and is adorned with a blue and gold label. Turns out 51 was Stephen's number on his Emory and Henry football jersey back in the day. Unfortunately, however, there won't be samples at the conclusion of this event. What's that about? There's no samples. I'm sure their steady climb hasn't always been easy, although Stephen and Jessica make it look that way. When COVID hit and no one could get out to visit their distillery, they quickly switched gears and began manufacturing hand sanitizer since its primary ingredient is alcohol. Recall that early in the pandemic, you couldn't buy hand sanitizer and production hadn't kept up with demand. But through our connections with the Callahans, Emory and Henry bought at a discount hundreds of airplane bottles of Tennessee Hills Distillery hand sanitizer. Their being able to pivot quickly not only kept them in business and paying their workers, but it helped Emory and Henry at a time when we really needed it. We appreciate you two helping look out for your alma mater. That global pandemic could have been the end of their dream of taking the Tennessee Hills Distillery brand nationwide, but it wasn't. Today, in addition to the original distillery in historic Jonesboro, they have a brewstillery in Johnson City and will open their new flagship $30 million, 39,000 square foot distillery across from the Pinnacle in Bristol, Tennessee later this spring. Once it is operational, it will have the capacity to produce up to 120 barrels of spirits a day, 30,000 cans of beer and cocktail drinks, and 10,000 bottles a day. There's a reason that Stephen and Jessica were together recognized in 2022 as our Young Alumni of the Year by the Emory and Henry Alumni Association. You can read more about Stephen and Jessica in the printed program. Jessica handles much of the behind-the-scenes work for the business, but she's not as keen on public speaking. Stephen, who was a high vote getter in an election for Jonesboro mayor and alderman when they lived there, isn't shy about promoting the brand and their efforts together. As an aside, Stephen, I might tell you that when my grandmother attended this church 60 years ago as a parishioner, they had Temperance Sunday, and she was always there for Temperance Sunday. She'll probably have words for both of us at the end of time. But I want to welcome my friend and an alumni of this great institution and a member of our Board of Trustees, Stephen Callahan.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Well, Dr. Wells pretty much covered the whole first page of my speech, so thanks, Dr. Wells. Appreciate that. It's really great to be back on campus, especially with my wife, Jessica. Jessica, stand up. Everybody give her a round of applause. She deserves it. I did not cheat off of her papers while I was in college. I can promise you that. But also, now that I'm on the Board of Trustees, Dr. Wells, it dawned on me the other day, since Jessica was a year behind me in high school, she actually was the first student that I ever recruited to Emory and Henry. But like John said, we've had a great journey over the last decade, very humble beginnings in Jonesboro at age 25 and 26. Once we get Bristol open, we'll be the largest independently owned craft distillery in the state of Tennessee, which is about the 5th largest distillery in the whole state of Tennessee. And so we've came a long way, and we've been very blessed. And, it'll put our number of employees up to over 70 full and part-time employees. So we're very blessed, and we appreciate all the support that Emory Henry has given us over the last couple of years. People tend to ask me, they said, Stephen, what is it like being a distillery or brewery owner in today's world? And I said, I kind of answered it this way. I said, you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump? You guys have seen the movie Forrest Gump, right? He goes to the White House, and he gets to drink all the Dr. Pepper for free. That's kind of how I feel every day at work. But in all reality, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, honored guests, and beloved alumni of Emory Henry, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate Founders Day, a day that holds profound significance for each and every one of you and us who has been touched by the transformative power of this institution. As we gather on this occasion on Founders Day, I'm filled with immense sense of pride and purpose today. I wish to not only celebrate the rich heritage of our beloved institution, but also ignite a flame of entrepreneurialism within each and every one of you. As the alumni of Emory Henry College and the founder of Tennessee Hills Distillery, I stand before you as living proof that the spirit of entrepreneurialism is not only alive, but thriving in the United States. Despite the challenges and uncertainties of our times, the American dream still beacons to those who dare to dream. My cold fingers can't flip this page, sorry guys. To dare to dream, those who are willing to roll up their sleeves and turn their ideas into reality. Indeed, the landscape of entrepreneurialism in America is as vibrant and diverse as ever. From Silicon Valley startups to Main Street small businesses, from tech innovations to artisan craftsmen such as myself, entrepreneurs are making their mark in every corner of our great nation. They are creating jobs, they're driving innovation, they are shaping the future of our economy. Here, you are not merely students, you are future leaders, future innovators, and future entrepreneurs such as myself. Whether you aspire to launch a tech startup, to open a small business, or to pursue a career, know that the world is ripe with opportunity for those who are willing and who are bold enough to seize it. But entrepreneurialism is not just about building businesses. It's about creating value, making a difference, and leaving a legacy, which is why we're all here today on Founders Day. It is about solving problems, taking risk, embracing failures as a necessary stepping stone on the path to success. It's about pushing the boundaries of what is possible and forging new paths where others see only obstacles. So I urge each and every one of you to dare to dream, to think outside the box, and to never underestimate the power of your own ideas. Embrace the spirit of entrepreneurialism that courses through the veins of places like Emory and Henry, and let it guide you on your journey to greatness. As you embark on your own journey, remember that success is not guaranteed and that failure is not the end of the road. It is in the face of adversity that the true entrepreneur rises to the occasion, turning setbacks into opportunities and challenges into triumphs. So go forth with courage, with passion, and with an unwavering belief in your own potential, as I did. Embrace the entrepreneurial spirit that has fueled the dreams of visionaries throughout history, and let it propel you to heights beyond your wildest imagination. As I reflect on my own journey through these hallowed halls to the helm of President of Tennessee Hills Distillery, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the role that Emory Henry played in shaping the trajectory of my life and the lives of countless others. Indeed, it is here that I received not only a world-class education, but also the tools, the confidence, and the inspiration to take on the world and pursue our dreams with unwavering determination. How did Emory and Henry prepare me for our journey and what Jessica and I are doing today? Well, it was more than just the knowledge that was imparted on us in the classroom, although that is certainly invaluable. It was the spirit of intellectual curiosity, of critical thinking, and relentless pursuit of excellence that permeates every aspect of my life every single day. It was the belief instilled in me by my professors, my coaches, and my mentors that no dream is too big, no challenge is too daunting, and no goal is too ambitious. And I see a lot of my professors in the crowd today, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for what you've done. Emory and Henry gave me the confidence, the knowledge to do what I'm doing. But more than that, it gave me something even more precious. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of belonging, a sense of community that has sustained me through the highs and the lows of our journey. My time in Emory and Henry taught me the value of collaboration, cooperation, and collective effort, whether it was working in the lab on group projects, playing on Saturday in Fred Self Stadium, or simply forging friendships that would last a lifetime. I learned that there are no great endeavor is accomplished in isolation. It takes a team, it takes a community, and it takes a family. I am forever indebted to the countless individuals at Emory and Henry who believed in me, who encouraged me, and who challenged me to be the very best version of myself. To those who pushed me to reach new heights, I am eternally grateful for the guidance and support that I received during my time here. I did, and I still do, much like all of us, we face failures, especially in business. I learned early on here at Emory Henry that failure is not the end of the road. It's merely a detour to our path to success. It's through these failures that I gained invaluable insights, developed resilience, and ultimately found the clarity and focus to pursue my true calling of becoming an industry leader in the distilling and brewing industries. Now, Dr. Wells, as for the distilling and Carragher, to help pay for college. Let's just say that Emory Henry may have been dry, but in spirit, it was anything but. And by the way, I want to thank Dr. Wells and the board for recently renovating one of my first distilleries on campus, so thank you very much. And as Dr. Wells mentioned, with the Callahan's 51, the story of S.C. Callahan's 51 is a testament to the deep connection that I feel to this institution, a connection that runs deeper than football numbers or the color of the labels, which is blue and gold. It's my way of paying homage to this great institution that helped shape me. As for my relationship with my wife, Jessica, it's been nothing short of a blessing. Together we have forged a partnership built on mutual respect, mutual admiration, and mutual support. But more than that, there is a shared vision, a shared commitment, and a shared determination to make our dreams a reality. We have big dreams, obviously. We have bold ambitions and burning desires to leave our mark on the world, including Emory and Henry. And yes, there are things that have kept me up at night. The challenges, the uncertainties, the endless what-ifs. But more than that, there's a sense of excitement, of anticipation, of optimism for what lies ahead. It's the unwavering belief that no matter how steep the climb, no mountain is too high to conquer. In closing, let us remember the future belongs to those who are bold enough to shape it, to those who are willing to take the risk and defy convention in pursuit of their dreams. So let us embrace the spirit of Founders Day. Let us honor the vision and legacy of our founders, and let us continue to strive for greatness in all that we do for Emory and Henry. Thank you.
Most of us know the story about how Robert Porterfield founded the Barter Theater in Abingdon during the Great Depression and employed out-of-work actors by allowing local farmers to trade ham for Hamlet. But Robert Porterfield's imprint on Abingdon and his vision for it to become a regional hub for the arts was further enhanced when he created a celebration in 1949 called the Virginia Highlands Festival. The first festival was held 75 years ago on the grounds of the Martha Washington Inn. Over the decades, the Virginia Highlands Festival has brought thousands of tourists to our region to enjoy barter performances, shop for antiques, meet artisans and purchase local arts and crafts, hear live music, partake in the culinary arts, view juried fine arts and photography shows, tour historic properties, or take in a writer's workshop or perhaps a youth event. Truly, the spirit of Robert Porterfield lives on in Abingdon at the Barter Theater, which has previously received a service citation from Emory and Henry. But that legacy also continues with the Virginia Highlands Festival. Members of the Emory and Henry community have been involved with the Virginia Highlands Festival since planning began in 1948. Emory and Henry's 13th president, Dr. Foy Gibson, was one of the first presidents of the festival in the 1950s. One of the festival's earliest bus tours to historic places came to our college campus. There was an Emory and Henry lecture series where professors delivered lectures on a variety of topics. Anita Coulthard chaired the Performing Arts Committee for several years, which brought many dance, music, and drama events to our campus. Suzanne Reed chaired the Creative Writing Committee, which attracted nationally recognized writers to the festival. Former Abingdon Mayor Frenchmore Jr. was an alumnus of our college who dedicated more than 50 years of leadership to the festival. His wife, Mary Ann Moore, is with us today. Other Emory and Henry alumni or notable persons have served more recently as president of the festival, including alumni director Monica Hull, Kenny and Doris Schumann, Charlie and Haida Quillen, and Ben and Mary Jennings, who have also been involved with this festival for 50 years, and they will be accepting the award today. Emory and Henry is proud to partner with and support this premier festival. The Virginia Highlands Festival contributes to a strong economy by bringing thousands to the area, helps improve the quality of life in and around Abingdon, showcases and honors the rich cultural heritage of this region, and is a trusted community partner that fosters goodwill and common purpose. For these reasons, Emory and Henry College awards the service citation to the Virginia Highlands Festival in celebration of the organization's 75th anniversary and in recognition of its elevation of the region's rich cultural and artistic traditions and tourism economy. Given from the halls of Emory and Henry College this March 21st, 2024, on the occasion of the 187th anniversary of the founding of the college, congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Laura Beth Weaver, and I'm serving as the president of the Emory and Henry Alumni Association. Today, it is my honor to introduce you to our 2024 Outstanding Alumni Honorees. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to all the alumni who are in the room, to our staff and our faculty who make us who we are on this founding day. And I also want to say hi to the students. Those of you who are here maybe for Lyceum credit, who are here maybe because you want to see the awesome work of other alumni or you wanted to hear Stephen's speech. Whatever you're here, I'm glad you are. And I'm excited to welcome you as the alumni president in a few years to this great cloud of witnesses. As Stephen said, no great endeavor is accomplished in isolation. And it has been my honor to get to know these honorees a little bit better this year. Dr. Jack Wells takes a fair amount of teasing for the fact that when he takes a selfie with his students while traveling abroad, he only shows his forehead and the top of his head, not his whole face. The picture clearly shows the students, but you have to infer that Dr. Wells is in the picture based on a recognizable hairline and a familiar hat. It doesn't take much of a leap to think that this is less about bad photography and more about where his focus lies, squarely with his students. Dr. Wells teaches courses that cover political and religious history of the ancient Mediterranean, the history of pre-modern Europe, and myths and rituals of the ancient world. It's a lineup that would make most students turn and run in the opposite direction. But his students can't say enough about his classes and his trips abroad to Greece and Rome that make the history come alive. This is how one Emory and Henry alumnus sums up Dr. Wells in his nomination for this award. Any student who took a class with Dr. Wells understands the experience that is one of his lectures. He has a way of engaging students with history that makes them both eager to learn and excited to show up to each session, wondering what sort of entertainment is in store. Whether it's Dr. Wells's passion for ancient Rome showing through his lectures or his deft way of training students in the scholarship of history in his historical methods survey, his passion for teaching shows through, often in hilarious ways. Every lecture with Dr. Wells was a treat. He often cheers on the Wasps at athletic events or can be found at Lyceum Talks for some additional perspective. And those interactions with him outside the classroom enhance the Emory and Henry experience for students and colleagues alike. His work has bolstered Emory and Henry's image in the world of higher education and in the Southwest Virginia community. In 2010, Dr. Wells received the Exemplary Teaching Award from the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry of the United Methodist Church. And in 2024, the Emory and Henry Alumni Association hereby names him for the James A. Davis Faculty Award, because as his nominator went on to say, it's about darn time Jack Wells got this award. Congratulations. If you're ever on Instagram, you might actually recognize the face of Dr. Stephanie Edwards Compton. Dr. Compton has a master's degree in community nutrition and dietetics and a PhD in cellular and molecular nutrition, studying ovarian cancer metabolism, and she's researching cancer and metabolism at Pennington Biomedical Research Center in Baton Rouge. She is undoubtedly the smartest person in my Instagram feed. But she's also a whiz at finding fun ways to communicate difficult scientific topics. Her clever reels help us digest complicated concepts. She lip syncs movie dialogues and Taylor Swift lyrics to debunk myths about diet and nutrition. She uses Pikachu memes to explain how food and human nature interact. And she pulls in lines from SpongeBob to air her frustrations over how dense scientific jargon gets in the way of people like me actually understanding what researchers are discovering. She even teaches other scientists how to be better communicators. She aims to help us recognize the difference between real science and clickbait. Her area of research focuses attention on how nutrition and exercise affect a cancer survivor's ability to survive and thrive after treatment ends. So for her, nutrition is about more than simply dropping a few pounds. She knows it can be about living your best life. But in the midst of all this talk of nutrition, she doesn't pretend to not be a real human. In fact, she admits that one of her favorite things in life is eating an oatmeal cream pie on a mountain summit. Dr. Compton is also loyal to her college. In the fall of 2024, she was Emory and Henry's second ever E&H Homecoming Alumni Lecture speaker. There was standing room only as she explained her work, her career path, and how people can use science in their daily lives. She's only been out of school for 8 years, so there's no telling what is next for this creative young biology major. But whatever comes next, we will be grateful to her and SpongeBob for helping us understand it and apply it toward a healthier life. Congratulations to our 2024 Young Alumna of the Year, Dr. Stephanie Edwards Compton. Those of us who are lucky in this life have a go-to person, someone who is always likely to say yes to a little extra work and turn an ordinary moment into something remarkable. For Emory and Henry, Chuck Alexander has been our go-to person for years. If Ian Achers were visiting DC while he worked at NPR, he'd arrange a private tour. If we need an assist for admissions recruiters or someone to serve on the alumni board, it's Chuck we call. When a group of Emory and Henry students were headed to DC to experience the nation's capital, Chuck was the guy who found a place in the heart of the city that would seat 30 people for dinner. When Emory and Henry grads are headed to DC to search for jobs and learn the ropes in a new city, Chuck is a contact who happily puts tensions at ease for nervous newbies. He has also found a way to benefit Emory and Henry students by establishing a student scholarship that honors the memory of his mother, his single-parent hero. A mass communications major, Chuck is a networker extraordinaire and is often called on by the department to serve as a resource for students and new grads. In fact, he was nominated for this award by two of the young professionals who have appreciated his professional guidance. In their letter of nomination, they explained, "We have benefited from Chuck's wisdom and friendship in our careers. He helps to lift younger alumni in his field, and by keeping in touch with him after graduation, we were both able to find our way to our current employment at Burness, where Chuck serves as principal and managing director. Together, we work on issues of communication and social justice, and lucky for us, we get to benefit from his mentorship on a regular basis. We are only two of the countless other graduates he has supported in their career paths." If you don't have a go-to person in your life, we hope you'll find one, but you cannot have Chuck. We need him too much for Emory and Henry's success. Congratulations to Chuck Alexander, our 2024 Distinctive Service to Emory and Henry honoree. There are many reasons to appreciate and admire Major Warner. He has achieved professional success. He has garnered respect from the community and his peers. He has been selected for an influential position of leadership in the Commonwealth of Virginia and still manages to be the nicest person you will ever meet. And he was a student athlete with a record to brag about, but he doesn't. Those glory days weren't the end of his story. They were a fabulous launching point for the rest of his story. Dr. Warner is now the superintendent of public schools in Fauquier County in Virginia, but this is far from his first foray into education. He began his career in Loudoun County, Virginia. He served as a school counselor for the county, was a teacher at Liberty High School, and was an assistant principal at Park View High School. He later moved to Prince William County, where he was assistant principal at Battlefield High School. He then returned to Fauquier County and served as principal for a brand new school called Kettle Run, dealing with all the routine challenges of being a principal while also maneuvering the hurdles of a new property and a new group of students getting adjusted to the school and to each other. He served as a principal there for 10 years before being appointed as superintendent last year. Another thing we admire about Dr. Warner is that he has never forgotten his college. He has served as a member of the Emory and Henry Board of Trustees and was recently back on campus to help with the dedication of the multi-sport court on campus that was named for his friend and teammate, Eric Scott. In 2007, Dr. Warner was inducted into the E&H Sports Hall of Fame because as a student, he averaged almost 17 points a game on an Emory and Henry basketball team that made the college's first NCAA postseason appearance. Today, we induct him into the ranks of our most admired alumni professionals because his student days were just the beginning for him. Today, we honor him for an outstanding career, success rooted in personal development, hard work, and compassion. Dr. Major Warner is the 2024 Distinguished Alumnus of the Year because he has never ceased to increase in excellence. Congratulations. I don't know about you, but I love a good underdog story. And the story of Susan Mathis Johnson and her cohorts, a couple of whom are here with her today, is the sort of tale that Disney might want to make into a movie. In 2016, the community of Richwood, West Virginia, was hit with what is called a 1,000-year flood, meaning there's a 1 in 1,000 chance of such a devastating flood occurring in any given year. Richwood and surrounding communities got 8 to 10 inches of rain in 12 hours and experienced one of the deadliest floods in West Virginia history. Lives were lost, homes were gone, livelihoods destroyed, and churches were ruined. And the building that really seemed to unify the whole town was beyond repair, the local high school. Initial plans were to close the school permanently and bus their students 25 miles away across 2 literal mountains. Losing the high school would have meant losing far more than losing just one building. It would have marked the loss of a huge source of community pride, as fully 1/4 of the student body played in their fantastic marching band. In this daunting moment, Susan was spurred to action by the words she heard on this campus while a student. Dr. Stephen Fisher, now retired from the political science department, spoke at a ceremony, and she remembered him saying, "Imagine the world you want, then create it." In the face of seeing her little town completely undone, those words came roaring back to her. She chose to step up as a servant leader against what must have looked like insurmountable odds. We'll rush past the part of this feel-good movie where all the hard work happens, the meetings, the grant writing, the budget woes, the red tape, the articles in the newsletter, politicking with leaders, persuading doubters, new partnerships, rallies, and all the cheers, tears, and fears. The work was exhausting, but today, only 8 years later, Richwood is a destination town with a host of local restaurants popular with foodies and locals alike. There are Airbnbs for guests to stay in when they attend any one of numerous festivals celebrating art, fall leaves, and those pungent wild onions called ramps. Motorcyclists ride the twisting road called the West Virginia Hellbender with 1,300 curves. Runners come to do the triathlon, and outdoor enthusiasts visit to hike, bike, camp, backpack, fish, and explore the cranberry wilderness. And, best of all, their brand new Richwood School is set to open next fall. Susan took Dr. Fisher's words to heart. Then she put in the hours, creativity, passion, maybe a little anger, and certainly a lot of love that was necessary to create the better, stronger community she had imagined. Congratulations to Susan Mathis Johnson, our 2024 Emory and Henry Alumni Humanitarian of the Year.
And it is clear that Emory and Henry alums are doing great things all over this great country. Let's give our award winners another round of applause. Emory and Henry is very proud. As we leave from this celebration of Emory and Henry with appreciation for all those who have supported this great institution and its founding, let us be reminded of the words of John Wesley, the primary founder of the Methodist movement. Do all the good you can, in all the ways you can, to all the souls you can, in every place you can, at all times you can, with all the zeal you can, as long as you ever can. I now invite our concert choir to deliver our choral benediction, which will be followed by the recessional. Please remain in place for the recessional until the faculty marshal, all members of the platform party, honorees, and faculty have made their way out of the chapel. Go in peace.